Hello family and friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Cynthia from Cynthia's Crafts and More. If you're new here, well, welcome. It's an honor to have you. Today, I have some prayer requests and then a couple of praise reports. First, the prayer request. I have a sweet friend, YouTube friend. Her name is Sandy Brock. She's up in Canada. Her daughter Jess who's 21 or 22, I can't remember her age. She was recently just diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Um, so if you guys could keep her in your prayers, I'd greatly appreciate it. Oh, excuse me. And if you'd like to go over and give her some love and give Sandy some love, they're putting on bright faces, but I know it's very hard for them. So yeah. Her name is Jessica Brock. I will leave both their channels down in the comments, so you can go give them some love and support and prayers. And then my next prayer request is the house that my brother, who's one of my mom's main caregivers, and my sister Jennifer, who is my mom's caregiver for like the nighttime hours and stuff. And her two boys were displaced, about 2 weeks ago now. There ended up being an electrical fire in the basement in the laundry room. So my sister, my mom, and her two boys are currently living in a hotel room. And my brother is staying with my niece. Unfortunately, she's only able to handle the one person in her home. So he's there staying with her. We are currently looking for new places for them to live because originally they were told it was only going to be a month, and then it was maybe 1 to 3 months. Now it's going to be 6 months. Well, they can't live in a hotel for 6 months. It's just unfeasible. Since it was an electrical fire within the walls, the owner's letting them out of their lease, and they have to have all their stuff off the property by the 20th of this month. So that's like 5 days. So we've been working really hard trying to find new homes for them. The goal is to find a home for apartment situation for my mom and my brother, to where they like living in an assisted living, so that he has that extra help during the day, because he's disabled himself. He's got a really bad back, and they think he may have ruptured a disc in his low back. So every time my mom falls, they have to call the paramedics. And she falls almost on a daily basis. She tries getting up out of her chair by herself, or she tries getting up out of bed by herself. So once she's up and going, she can do pretty good, but it's that initial getting up, or like getting into bed or getting into her chair. She needs to have that extra help. So we're looking for a place for them, and then also a place for my sister and her boys. Um, whether it be in the same complex or if it has to be two different complexes. Um, so if you could keep them in your prayers, my family, so that we can get them into a place before they do have a hotel room to the end of the month. But like I said, they need to have all their belongings and stuff out of what we call the burn house, um, because of the fire. And there's a lot of stuff that has been damaged. My brother Bobby got a dumpster, one of those great big huge dumpsters, and was, last I heard, it was about halfway full of stuff that's not salvageable. And my youngest brother Bill went out to Colorado to help go through things and get things packed up. Um, but he leaves today, which is Sunday, to go back home to Minnesota. So keep them in your prayers as well. I greatly appreciate it. And then I, as most of you know, I've been dealing with a lot of low back pain and everything. And I had a CT done on my lungs and a CT done of my low back and my hip area. And the CT of my lung came back with a lot of chronic inflammation and scar tissue. And there's two little spots that they've been watching. And they said that the calcification looks like it may have grown. So I have to have a new CT in like 6 months. But the doctor's going to try me on a new medicine for my COPD, to see if that may help clear up my lungs some. That's another reason why he wants to do another CT um, in 6 months. And then the CT of my low back. Okay, so it's probably been about 5 weeks now. Um, I had an injection into my SI joint, which is the sacroiliac joint, which is in the hip. So my pelvis, instead of being like this, it's like this. I fractured it when I was a child and fell off the second story of a porch. Um, my dad was building a porch and he had it all done. There was just like one little railing that he had to have left to put up so that we wouldn't fall through. Well, I was sitting up there with a friend showing my brand new coloring book, and I went to stand up and I misplaced my hand and I fell through and I landed on a pile of bricks on my back and I kind of bounced. And I did get up right away, according to my parents, and they took me to the ER just to have me checked out. Um, the doctor said I seemed fine. Well, then when I was in my early 20s, I had a car accident and the doctor had the x-rays down far enough and it got my pelvis. And then he said, well, when did you break your pelvis? So that's the only time that we can think of where I would have broken it. I mean, it could have happened other times when climbing into trees and falling out of them, um, taking apart my bike, putting it back together, not getting it put back, all the bolts put tight together, and going up off ramps, and my bike would fell out from underneath me, all apart, and I landed on my back. But all those times I've gotten up and walked around, and the doctor said that, my bones are still forming and it could have they just didn't catch it. So with the way my pelvis is, it's putting pressure on my spine, and I have a couple deteriorating discs and bulging discs in my low back and my neck. And when I had this last CT scan, it showed that I have severe arthritis in the SI joint and up and down my spine. And he said that the arthritis is so bad, he couldn't even really tell where um, the bulging disc and the deteriorating disc are. So I have an appointment coming up in a month and a half, 2 months, to go over some more options as to what might need to be help to get me out of the pain. For the most part, he's got me on gabapentin, 600 milligrams morning, noon, and night, and then another 300 at night, because after I get done doing my daily stuff, being on my feet on and off all day, when I go to lay down, it's like the nerves just start shooting pain down into my toes. So he put me on that extra 300 at night. And then I'm also on taking turmeric for inflammation. Um, and I do the CBD with, it's like 25 milligrams of CBD and 2% of THC to also help with the pain and the nausea that I have. There's days where it's just very hard for me to get out of bed because the pain is so bad. But every day I give the pain to the Lord and ask Him. And I believe there's reason why I'm still dealing with this pain. um, there's a lot of stuff the Lord is working through with me. And then I've also had a sore, probably a little over a year now. And I've had 2 mammograms done, and it's on the underside of my left breast. They did a biopsy last week, so I'm just waiting for the results of that. And even with that sore, I mean, they took a bigger biopsy than what I thought it was going to be. I just thought it was going to be a small little hole, but it's about the size of a dime and probably about, I don't know, that deep maybe. The first few days it looked pretty bad, but I think a lot of that was from the cauterization, where they cauterized the little blood vessels. Um, so if you could keep me in your prayers for that, I get good results. And I have another mammogram coming up in a couple weeks. I did have 2 done last year, and they both came back normal. So we shall see. Hopefully they'll be able to figure out why that area's got that sore and why it's not healing. So in the meantime, I'm staying in the house, not going anywhere because I can't wear a bra. If I do wear a bra, even if I put gauze on that area, it still just oozes and um, it's nasty. So anyway, those are the prayers. And then praise report is I'm still able to stay off my oxygen, and it's been since January 2nd or 3rd that I've been completely off the oxygen after being on it for 8 years. Praise the Lord. And then another praise is my friend Josh over at Bodak Kiko that most of you know that we've been praying for, who's had stage 4 colon cancer, just finished his chemotherapy and had a PET scan done. And that came back looking really well. So in the next couple weeks or month or so, he will be going in and having surgery to have his colonoscopy bag taken out. And they had also found that he has a hernia um, behind or next to the colon, the where the colonoscopy bag is. Um, so they will be going in to remove the very final last little bit of the tumor that has shrunk, and in removing the hernia, there's something else he was going to have done, but um, he thanks everybody who's been praying for him and his family. So he got some really awesome good news. So I will leave that link to that video in the description as well. Oh, and I was gonna, so in honor to support Jess with her cancer journey, I shaved my head. And everybody knows, or a good majority of you know, that whenever I hear of a family or a friend who is being diagnosed with cancer, no matter what kind it is, I will shave my head. If my hair is long enough, I will donate it. It's usually the last, I want to say 3 or 4 years. It's about as short as, it's like, it's usually that short. I will post a picture, well, before I had my hair cut, and then obviously after. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, and blessed day, and stay healthy, strong, warm, and dry. And remember, if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. I mean, it's free, so why not? And then don't forget to hit that solid notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. And give me a thumbs up showing that you like this video. And leave a comment below because I love to hear from you. And don't forget to share this out to your community tabs if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, share this out to your social media sites. I'd greatly appreciate it because sharing my videos out will, all the stuff will help with the algorithms of getting my videos pushed out to those who need to see them. So until tomorrow, let's pray for peace and love. God bless. Love you guys.